Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Philly Fan Radio. I'm your host, John Myer, along with Dan Palmieri. And first of all, we are here at the deadline. By the time this goes out, the deadline will pass, but the 53-man roster needs to be in by 4 p.m. today, correct, Dan?
Yeah, 4 p.m.
Okay.
Got about 2
4
hours.
p.m. Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be a day later. We'll see how it actually progressed and made out. In fact, as we jumped on this recording, Dan noticed some other things that were happening along things, and we just added them to our notes and daily stuff. We're actually going to talk about the 53-man roster, injuries, Howie's magic, maybe. I'm really kind of curious on how some of these things are going to work out, and season predictions, along with some injuries and some awesome NFL.com news that we are all alerted on. I mean, thank goodness. Well, we'll get to that in a second. First of all, Dan, waivers have been happening. Things have been progressing. Howie's been doing his magic on and off. Let's talk about that. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I thought after the third preseason game, it was pretty apparent that some changes need to be made. I didn't think that their roster, their second string and their third string were really good enough. Should there be injuries, there were a lot of deficiencies, defensively, even offensively. And they addressed it. I mean, they're addressing it. I thought that one of the biggest things was they brought Fred Johnson back, who was very, very good when he was called upon last year. So they got a proven commodity out there at tackle. And, they released some players, one of which that we'll get into was a bit of a surprise. But I think the roster basically is going to continue to evolve. I don't think that they're satisfied with the way things are, and they're strong in certain areas, but other areas they do have some deficiencies for sure.
Well, you talked about Fred Johnson. I'm going to call him the Boomerang. He was gone 5 months ago, went to the Jags. Now he's back, and I believe are we giving them a 2026 seventh round pick as well?
Yeah.
So there was a here and then return. I'm glad he's actually back. There was another trade, Kenard to the Packers, and the Eagles actually get a 2027 sixth-round pick. Mm-hmm. So that was actually a surprising move. I wasn't thinking about that or planning it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be on the bubble. I actually thought that he was going to make the team, to be honest with you. But, I mean, they could get a good return on it, then why not? I mean, let's say good return.
We got a lot of picks in 2026, but I don't give a damn about 2026 yet. We're talking about 2025, which is about to kick off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to go in with all those picks. You're going to see some wheeling and dealing. I think, we'll go into it, but I think there's going to be positions that they're going to trade for that you're going to be a bit surprised as to, when it happens.
Well, let's talk about that. First of all, I think the biggest deficiency that is happening so far this offseason, because first of all, we don't have any cornerbacks. There's no Slay, CJGJ. I don't think Ringo can do it. I don't even know if he should make the 53-man roster.
Yeah, it's a fall from grace for him. I mean, he was counted upon. He was given basically the door to. He was given the keys to be the other cornerback, and they gave him every single chance, and he just faltered at every single opportunity. I mean, whether it be 10 yards off, playing improper technique, allowing comeback routes, he's getting torched by people, poor tackling angles. I mean, to me, the guy didn't look like he belonged on an NFL roster, let alone be, obviously a starter. And we can even go back in episodes where I said there's no way in hell that you should take a guy that's a third stringer and then make him a starter on a Super Bowl caliber defense, which is why I think both of us were pretty upset when Isaiah Rodgers was let to go to the Vikings, because we could have he would have been a good starter. We know what we're getting with him, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm not real thrilled about our starting corners, and that's what I mean when I say that I think there might be some other moves that could be made, but I don't know. They did trade for Jacorian Bennett. I know he's not the biggest name, but he was a starter at some point, so maybe they'll go with that. I believe that Adoree Jackson right now is your starter because he didn't play in the last preseason game, which I couldn't be any more excited about, as you can tell, but,
I
It's
think he needed the snaps. I think he needed to be out there. First of all, the thing is, the Bennett, Jackson, all out there. You needed to see them out in preseason against other teams, maybe a first string, but potentially second and third string out on it to get those reps and go in to week one home opener.
yeah. I mean, they rested the starters. I mean, this has been Nick's philosophy is to rest the starters and use preseason as basically just an evaluation period, which has served them well in the past. But I think when you have a like I'll go on the offense for now. When you have a new offensive coordinator, I think that they should have played the starters on occasion because you got to get in that rhythm. You got to understand the play calling cadence, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with that. And with the defense, you have a proven guy, but like a coordinator, but the players are not proven. Like you said, why not have a Dory Jackson and Jacorian Bennett play? And I think they wasted too much of the summer, honestly, trying to get Ringo to be the starter when they could have given valuable snaps to Bennett or a Dory Jackson or whoever out there.
On both sides of the ball, things are new. So first of all, we've got Vic Fangio in the defense, but there's so many new pieces to the puzzle that I think we should have started everybody first game or something like that going there. I know it's a concern of injuries, but guess what? You're going into week one and you guys technically haven't played together. I mean, bits and pieces. And then on the offensive side, you got a new offensive coordinator, which needs to mesh well with Hurts, and now they could be doing that in training camp and all the other practices, but there's nothing like real football to get into the rhythm and to understand it. Training camp is a slow progression, right? Mm-hmm. It's not fast paced, where when you're on the field, it's totally 10 times faster.
Yeah, agreed. And, the whole thing about, they're not playing because of injuries, it's football. And to be honest with you, we're seeing injuries regardless of whether they played or not. There's a ton of soft tissue injuries going on, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. So you're going to be injured no matter what, if you play or not. So I really don't see the whole they're not going to play because they don't want to be injured thing. I mean, you're going to play for a series or two series, depending on how they look. So why not just get out there, get the experience? And like you said, I would have done it probably in the first or second game. The third game, maybe they can rest. But at least then we have an idea and they have an idea of how the team's going to look starting out. Because you can't expect them to go from 0 to 100 on opening day, whether it be Dallas's defense or anybody. Just expect them to pick up and look like the Super Bowl caliber team that we know.
One of the biggest things to do in a preseason game, in my opinion, is getting your body acclimated to the hits, to the touches, to the soreness. It literally probably takes 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I'm not, a professional at it, but we all know when you do something you haven't done in a while or coming into it, your body gets sore. It's so totally different than what a training camp, than a simulation. The other flip side of that, now I do agree and understand that all the other teams are pretty much following the same game plan. There were a number of teams that had their starters playing in all 3 preseason games, so they've got a little bit of a leg up. But going into the week one home opener against Dallas, everybody's, especially Dallas. Well, was Dallas doing the same thing? I mean, you could have been Micah Parsons laying down on the thing, taking a nap.
Yeah, rough life for him.
I saw something yesterday that he was let go, traded away, whatever it was. And I was like, no, he wasn't. Jerry Jones is a stubborn son of a gun. He ain't getting rid of that guy.
Yeah,
he's going to milk it out. And I had to search it up. I'm like, is this fake news? Of course it was fake news. But I'll tell you what, that is typical Dallas, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and he even came out and said that not only this year does he hold his contract, but he can franchise him for the next 2 years. So basically, He's got 3 more years of Micah Parsons where he's basically holding him captive. So it's only in Dallas. I mean, it's pretty great though, because you usually get a Dallas collapse at the end of the year, but to have one towards the beginning of the year is quite refreshing.
Especially Micah Parsons, seeing him out there, and not going to play week 1. Even if he suits up week 1, that guy's going to be sore as hell going into it. He's not going to know shit. So I'll be on there. Dan, waivers that we actually wanted to mention. First of all, McCord, I think that, I don't know if it was a total surprise, but we knew it was going to happen. And Thompson Robinson, sorry, I can't even say his full hyphenated name. I already knew, looking at him in the third preseason game against the Jets, or even the end of the second game on the Browns, it just didn't feel that he was there. But you're always playing against non-starters, so you should still have that rhythm. You should still always be practicing and having that plan.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what they did with McCord, actually, because I don't think... So let's put it this way. Tanner McKee, if he should miss time, even if he doesn't, you're only one play away from being on the field. And none of us could say that we're okay with, McCord going in there and actually playing meaningful snaps. So yep. I agree. And I think Sam Howell is a proven guy in this league. He played for Washington. He was with the Vikings last, but I remember him mostly from Washington, and he was solid. I mean, why not? If you can get him, that's fine. He's still on a rookie deal. But I think you're going to see McCord probably get signed to the practice squad. He's a developmental type of guy. He was never a guy that was going to come in and start or play anything, but he's a guy that, could develop into a backup. I mean, did anyone say that Tanner McKee was going to be our backup and pretty much light the world on fire in preseason? No. So he could be a
actually guy last year. I think you and I did. Last year, you and I wanted him as a backup. We wanted him over Pickens. So Pickett. So
Pickett was traded again. So
yeah.
So yeah, he goes to the Browns, and now he was traded out to the Raiders. So yeah, I hope to God
he seems to be pimped out a little bit, man.
Yeah, I hope to God he's got an apartment or something, because no way he's buying a home. But yeah, I agree with McKee. He should have been the backup last year, but they saw, and I think you're going to see McKee actually be used as a chess piece. And what I mean by that is, I don't think you're going to see him on the roster. Probably he will next year, but the year after, because there's going to be a team that's going to say, I want to take a chance and put him as my starter, and I think that's a possibility.
The other one was Kenyon Green. This one has me very confused. We traded CJGJ for him only to waive Green.
So I think you're looking at it as it was a player swap, right? When you went to the Texans, you did a player swap. You basically said that, okay, you're going to take Gardner, we're going to take Kenyon Green. I didn't look at the trade as that. I thought Kenyon Green would make the roster, but I'm not shocked that he didn't, because they've said all along that move was about offloading money. So basically it was a money dump where they were just dumping CJ's salary on them and taking a guy that they had hopes for, but if they cut, it was no big deal. So I didn't see it as more. I saw it more as let's take a risk on a guy. It was kind of one of those deals where it's like in baseball, we'll trade you the guy for a player to be named later, or cash considerations. So I looked at it more of that way.
This was the guy to be named later that if he worked out, great. If he didn't, nothing off our back. We didn't lose anything.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was a low risk, high reward type of deal, and it didn't work out.
The other person I'm going to talk about, there's a bunch of, I apologize for everybody out there, no namers that were waived, some tight ends, some running backs, the cornerback, Eli Ricks, and then Ainias Smith was just announced. Dan, you put him up here. What the heck happened? I thought he was actually going to make it. He seemed kind of decent.
I thought he was going to make it too, especially with Johnny Wilson's season-ending injury. I thought
you mentioned it. I feel bad for the guy, but go ahead.
Yeah, I do too. But I thought Smith was going to make it. I actually thought he was going to be our starting punt returner, to be honest with you. So I am a bit surprised about that, but I think it does give a clear indication for anybody that was out there worrying about AJ Brown being available on game day. He's ready to go. I mean, that's my assumption. I have nothing to base it on, but
I'm concerned.
I'm not concerned because I think that right now they're carrying 5 wide receivers. I think that if AJ Brown was actually injured of somewhat significance, then they would have kept Smith this week. That's just my opinion on it.
The thing with the hamstring is that they go out there. They haven't run. They haven't played in preseason. Now, of course, in practice, they're not giving it 110% to run a route. I'm concerned that, and we remember this with Deshaun Jackson, where he had a hamstring, and then when he came back, he would run down. It was a Washington game where he got the bomb, ran down, and you didn't see him anymore. Like, it was one of those things where all of a sudden, I'm hoping I'm not jinxing or anything, but I'm just concerned that he's going to run a deep route and then start to take off, and all of a sudden you're going to see him hop.
I agree. I mean, I'm just saying that I don't think his status for the game is up in air, but to say that he's not going to tweak it in the game, I'm not very confident that he won't, only because we saw it last year. He missed, I think, 3 games. It seems to be a nagging thing for him, but I mean, what can you do about that? You don't have surgery on that because it's not like a surgical issue. It's just he's having soft tissue injury, but I hope he stays healthy. I really do. I wouldn't be shocked if he misses some time this year because of that. Because it is, in fact, they're saying the same hamstring, so it is questionable. But I think that if his status was uncertain for Dallas, that you would have seen them keep Smith, at least so they can carry 5 active wide receivers on game day.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of these that were waived get pulled onto the practice squad. They are still working that out, so if they weren't claimed off of waivers, then them would be pulled into it. But the biggest thing with the hamstring, and I'm not a doctor, we should get a doctor on this show because I'm really curious if this was an issue last year with the hamstring. Why have we not tried to resolve it? Can you resolve this in that, or take care of it before the season? We're already having an injury before the season starts, which concerns for the long run of the season.
Yeah, you said it, long run. I mean, it's a 17-game season. Well, hopefully you got 20 games because you're going to the Super Bowl and winning. But yeah, it's a long season. And does that mean that he's going to be in crisis management mode where he's taking injections every single game? I mean, we got, 3-4 months of this. You know, you got to resolve it. I mean, he hasn't practiced in almost, it's the 26th. They said he hasn't practiced since the 8th. So you're looking at 18 days since he hasn't practiced. You know, he's going to be going in there pretty cold. So you hope that he's okay. I think he'll be okay for status-wise. Whether or not he can hold up during the game is another. I think that's why you saw them make the move for Mechie. Not to say Mechie is a excellent starting caliber wide receiver, but he's good enough to go out there and be your third receiver if it needs to be Smith, Dotson, and then Mechie.
No. Well, the other thing is last year, didn't they lose every game that AJ wasn't in, right? The 3 games that they lost. So that's concerning. Now, it shouldn't rely. It's just kind of coincidental. Let's just put it that way because Smith was out, 2 of those games, right?
Yeah, Smith was out. And if you remember, when A.J. Brown was out 2 years ago, it was the wild card playoff against Tampa in which they got rolled. So you could see his value.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying that the team is going to lose when AJ's not on the field, but the stats are just showing what has happened when he's not there and available. The other thing is you talked about Johnny Wilson, Johnny Love. Last year we talked about him when he was on the team, and we saw him out at open practice and training camp, and he kind of looked all right. He wasn't very consistent. This year, though, in preseason, he looked great, actually. He was consistent. He was jumping up. He was taking the ball where he needed to. And a season-ending injury like that, this is why a lot don't play in preseason because of these potential or possibilities, and it doesn't even count during the regular time. But it is what it is, I guess, on that one. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, he really... The one critique I had of him last year was that he was tall, but he was still trying to catch the ball with his body.
Yep.
And what he showed in preseason was that he was finally just using his hands. I mean, he's taller. He's 6 foot.
6'7",
6'6". Yep. And he's catching it over 5'11" corners. Just go up there with your hands. And he was showing really good, consistent hands. I thought he'd be more of a threat this year to be a receiver, but It really is a shame. I really saw some potential in the guy. Could have been a good chess piece around there, but hopefully he gets himself rehabbed and better and comes back next year stronger.
I agree. Now, everybody, the home opener that's happening next Thursday, September 4th, 8:20. Yes, against the Cowgirls. I can't wait. I mean, this is going to be a unbelievable game. It's going to be mad chaos, crazy traffic, tailgating. It sucks that it's on a Thursday, I have to tell you, because, obviously you're not getting home till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But they're unveiling the Super Bowl flag in front of Dallas. Oh, the last time you seen one was in the 90s. Just saying. I'm just stating facts. That's all. Here's the thing, Dan.
When VHS was still a popular technology.
Hey, you know what? They still watch the Super Bowl. That's why there's still VHS players around, because Dallas needs to still watch their Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, look at the Dallas roster. Most of them weren't even born yet. So anybody that says, oh, Dallas is, still got all those trophies. Well, the team wasn't even born when Dallas was relevant. So I don't want to hear that crap. Every time when somebody says it, I just say, hey, how many Super Bowls have they won since the salary cap? And they can't just buy a team. And that's 0. Once you put in a salary cap and make it mandatory that they got to comply, nothing. Jerry's too busy doing handshake deals in the oil fields with Micah Parsons to involve his agent, and now you got this crap. So,
that was when Jerry took the oil field money and shoved it into the stadium, and all his players like, man, here you go, $100 million, don't matter. I'm gonna buy the winning. But
yeah, let's make a circus. Let's go out there. Jerry.
All right,
World.
so we're. You know what? I saw something, and I was hoping it was true, that he was going to step back as GM and let his son and all that run it. But that guy,
I don't want that to happen, because as long as he's running Dallas, it's going to be a constant shit show. So I love him running
it. He's just a crazy old man with Alzheimer's. I don't know, whatever it is. That's why he doesn't know what's going on with Micah Parsons.
He is, and it's fantastic, because he should be nowhere near a franchise making, decisions. But there he is, just winging it all along. It's fantastic.
Hey, we should go and make him a deal. He won't remember it, and he'll just...
Yeah, we'll get Micah Parsons for a player to be named later in cash considerations.
I wonder if you could do that. Why not, right?
Yeah, why not?
It's a deal. It's a deal. Why do you have to have a trade or money thing? We'll tell you later what it will be.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you. Jerry will forget about that deal anyway. Oh, my God. Jerry's one. Okay, so Dan, before we get to season predictions, and when I say season predictions, we're just going to do this score. What are they going to end with for the season? We're not going to go through each team and kind of predict it. We'll do that week to week. Before we get to that, and I already noted that the home opener, and I got to say it again, is against the Cowgirls. And you know what I just thought of? Did you know that Shaquille O'Neal said that if Dallas loses, he will dress up in a skirt?
Yeah, I saw the dress that Charles Barkley had to wear on one of their bets. He's so dumb. Why would you? I
thought Shaq was smart.
He's the only one in the world that thinks that they have a credible, chance to win. I think he even said that he put I don't know, a large amount of money down on FanDuel to say that he was taking the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. I don't even know what the odds were, but it's astronomical odds. So he's convinced that they have a roster that's built for the Super Bowl. I'm convinced that they have a roster that should be flushed down the toilet. I don't even see them making the playoffs, to be honest with you. I see them a 500 club and behind Washington and us. So
yeah, I think their roster should be just cleaning up the streets. I don't think they've got any chance. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I mean, it's Dallas. What can I say? But you know what? When they lose next Thursday, I don't want to see the guy in a dress, but I want to know that he complied with his bet.
Well, you got to wait till the end of the season. He said Super Bowl prediction.
Oh, I thought he was saying he just beating Dallas. He would
No,
do
I
it.
don't think
I
so.
thought it was next.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to research it and look it up. Okay, Dan. Before we actually begun this, you told me and you alerted me that you got an NFL.com alert on your phone. Do you want to tell everybody about this? This is awesome news. I'm sorry.
So the amazing thing is that, I got the NFL.com app and I'm sitting here, trying to get up to date on, roster changes, who's cut. And it comes across as breaking news. So when I think breaking news, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. The Eagles traded for a starting cornerback. Oh, let's go. They're trading away somebody, whatever. Well, in the most important news of this century, Travis Kelce's got engaged. Man. From the NFL.com app, I can't believe it. I'm so excited. That is more important to it than a trade, to anything. I'm glad that they alerted me to it so that I can sit here and talk about it personally.
Oh, and so we can add it to the show, and then maybe we should play some Taylor Swift music in the background while we're. I mean, this is awesome. You can tell that it's all for entertainment now because this is exactly what we got to deal with.
Yeah, it's just, I don't get it. Taylor Swift is not exactly the target audience for the average NFL fan, but she's bringing in fans.
Yippee-ki-yay.
That's what it is.
That's
Absolutely.
it. That's all it is. That's all Goodell cares about, and this is why we all keep. This is going to be the most talked about thing for Week 1, Week 2 when the Eagles play them in Kansas City. It's going to be, oh my God, Taylor Swift is here with her man.
Yeah, you're going to get tons of close-ups, and you'll probably get Chris Collinsworth talking about, oh my God, look at the ring on her. It's jacked. It's so big. It's as big as the Super Bowl ring. Yippee! Travis Kelce couldn't get a ring of his own. He couldn't get a ring of his own, so he bought his fiance one. Woohoo!
I just thought of something. We should send her an Eagles Super Bowl ring to replace the ring.
Yeah, well, she used to be an Eagles fan. She used to be an Eagles fan. She obviously isn't now, but
we should send her a ring, and this is to replace Travis's fake stuff with a real one.
Well, Week 2, we're gonna see her and the Brady bunch out there. So,
well, I got to thank NFL for giving us this most important news that. The engagement, I'm so excited. I will mark the date when they have it. Yep. All right.
I'm gonna keep waiting for my invite to the wedding too.
We should just swing down the Burks and maybe see if they've got.
Yeah, she's really gonna have it.
Did you lose mine in the mail?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know how important I am? Damn it.
Oh, exactly. Okay, Dan. Season predictions. Now, you can tell me who they won or lost against, or you can give me an overall. What do you want to do?
So we're not going to go game by game.
We can go game by game, win, loss. You can tell me who they lost, who they're going to lose against.
Yeah, let's go game by game. You were actually closer last year when we went game by game.
Yeah, when I say game by game, we're going to go game by game of win-loss, but we're not going to predict the score. We're going to do that between these. Okay. All right. Dan, let's go. You go first one, and then I'll go, and we'll just go game by game and the total outcome of it. All right. So I already know you got the Eagles winning against Dallas.
I do. I think it'll be closer than what I'm hoping for, but yeah, I do have them winning.
Same deal here. All right, I got that one. Okay, KC.
I unfortunately have that as a loss because it's in Arrowhead. Yeah, I have
think they want to make up for the Super Bowl?
I do think it's a revenge situation. I do. I think the Eagles have the better roster than every team they're going to play, but I do think that they lose to Kansas City, especially early in the year because they're still going to be trying to figure out the offense.
I have them winning against KC, and I didn't analyze every single one, only the couple. And the reason I have them winning against KC is because Kermit is not that good. He's going to go down or an issue. I do think Travis Kelce might finally get back to his normal breakout year instead of the ending of it. but I don't think it's going to matter in this game. I don't think. I mean, I love Andy Reid, but I think the time has come where the dynasty is done, and they're just going to trail off and no longer be in the top. But that's just me.
I mean, I think that like I said, the Eagles have a better roster than everybody. I'm just playing it off of emotion and who's home. If that game was in Philly, which I could go on a rant about, you're going to play a Super Bowl rematch. Why doesn't the team who won get the home game?
We've been, and I get why against Dallas to open it. We should have opened at home against KC. Don't they do that all the time? Why does Philly always get in the shit end of the stick?
Yeah, well, because Jerry is a circus and he attracts fans. It's going to be the highest viewed game in years because of the fact that everybody wants to tune in to see Dallas just completely flop. So it's a joke.
And the highest
really is.
live stream game probably. They're going to live stream it. Only on pay-per-view. You must sign up for the new Paramount TV. It's $19.95 a month, locked in for 3 years of subscription. I can't stand that crap. We're not going to be able to watch games anymore on one station. We're going to have 23 subscriptions.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll ask that on the podcast. Do you have YouTube TV?
I do.
You do realize that Fox is going to cancel it, right?
I saw.
Yeah.
I saw that there was an alert coming out.
Ridiculous. So anyway, I had to ask.
I got Hulu as well. So as a backup, I might have to. Yeah, to be honest with you, that's the problem. But DirecTV had the same issue where they had deals with other, and then they just pulled them from it because they couldn't work out a deal correctly. It's not anything new. It's the biggest issue I have, and I'm going to go on a rant here real quick, is that everybody had DirecTV or their local subscription, RCN, service. It doesn't matter, whoever you got in your area. You got rid of those because you wanted the live stream and you only wanted the things that you wanted then. And it was cheaper. It was cheaper 10 years ago. You start out Hulu for $19.99, then you got the, whatever freaking no ads, and it went on to $49.99. And now you must purchase each one individually to watch the game that you want to watch. You got to go to a sports bar just to watch it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. I'm off my...
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, for this year alone, you have to have Prime, Netflix, Paramount, live TV somehow. I might be missing one. No, I think that's it. But you have to have all these streaming services just to catch every game.
And it used to be like $150 for DirecTV, and now you're paying $300 for all these subscription services when you'll never watch Paramount again except for the NFL game that is on one time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everybody's pretty much got Prime. I mean, if you don't have Prime, you're not shopping Amazon. What can I say? So
yeah, pretty much.
Okay, back to our predictions. All right, week 3. We got the Rams.
I have them as a win.
All right.
And I think it's crazy how difficult their schedule is this year, to be honest with you. But regardless.
I have them as a win as well. Okay, week 4.
Yeah,
I feel like this is like kryptonite with Tampa Bay.
It is.
It's weird. It's like an unmatched rivalry of not in the same freaking division, yet they are. We just hate them because of what they did to us.
They routinely just have our number. And as you were alluding to before, this is actually the game where A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith were out against Buccaneers, and they killed us. But I have them rebounding. I do have them as a win here.
I have them as a win as well. And the reason I have them win because by week 4, they figured their shit out and they're going to rock the crap out of them, even though I've already have them as a win going down the line. All right. Denver.
I have it as a win.
Yeah, that's no question. Giants, week 6.
Do you even need to ask?
Yes, I gotta ask. If you don't hear my response, it's automatic win. By the way, people, I'm just yes.
I think the bigger question is: by then, will Jackson Dart be the starter? That's more of the unknown. But yeah, I have him as a win.
Minnesota,
win again.
All right. Okay. Well, then back to back every other week here for the Giants. Yes, that's. Yeah. So win again. All right. Win. That's the Green Bay.
They're coming off of a bye, I believe. I'm going to put
Yes.
that
Yeah.
down. I am
Bye
going to
is
put
week
that down
9.
as a win.
All right, same deal. I got it in there. I don't think while I think Love is decent, I just don't think he's as a.
I don't think he's like everybody
He
was
doesn't
trying
have all
to.
the weapons. Yeah,
No, no, they were
I don't
trying
think
to
he's
anoint him as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I don't see that.
what. Please, he ain't even on the top 10. So
Yeah.
okay, week 11, Lions.
The Lions I do have as a loss, unfortunately. I know it's home, I know it's prime time, but they're coming back from Lambeau on 6 days rest. I just think that's a bad situation, and I play the odds here with the Lions actually coming out on top.
I actually have them as a loss as well. That is my first loss, going into week 11. So after 10 games, but they do have a bye. They come back, they kick the crap out of Green Bay. They got to do a quick turnaround. It's a home game, prime time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lions are really good, and I think this is I do have them as a loss. Okay, Dallas.
So I have them as a win, which I probably will flip flop a little bit, only because I think that they're going to split with somebody in the division. Might be Dallas, might not be, but I have them as a win right now.
I actually have them as a loss. And the reason that I do is that maybe Dak isn't a QB then. I don't really know. Maybe he's injured by then. Who knows? But I think somehow, even though Dallas is going to suck most of the year, they pull out some kind of miracle because it is at AT&T Stadium. Jerry Jones doesn't pull the blinds down, the sun's in the eyes, and kicker hits the big ass TV. Whatever. I do have them as a loss for this.
So you got them 2 in a row there.
Yes, oof. I bet. And rightfully so. I got 2 back to back, but I think while I think they can turn around, and I didn't look at that as, I've got a loss. It's, I got to do a win the next one. I looked at the teams. I looked at where we're at. I think mentally they've got wins marked down on all of it that they need a reset mentally, even though they came into the bye week. And then at that point, they go against Chicago. I got them as a win.
Yeah, same here, Chicago. I think that's going to be a blowout.
All right. Chargers.
I definitely have them as a win.
Same deal. Raiders.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a win.
That's what I got. Okay. The first of 2 for Washington. What do you got?
I have them as a win. I know everybody's in love with the Commanders. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a cynical Eagles fan. I'm just not in love with them as much. I don't think that they're, other than Jaden Daniels, who's amazing. I think he's going to have a step back only because it's going to be hard as hell to play as good as he did last year. But I just don't think they have the offensive weapons. I mean, I don't even know who their starting running back is. They're starting a guy that's like a 5th round pick that nobody's ever heard of. So I just have them. I have it as a win. I could go off on it, but I have them as a win.
I have them as a win, and just like you said, Jaden Daniels was great last year. In fact, as a surprise, I think when we did the top 10 QBs, he was actually rated above Hurts, which we know is not true. You can't be rated above that. The other thing is that it was his rookie year. And I'll use this analogy, right? You're a noob at something. Let's just say bowling. You go in and you bowl mid 200s for your first game. And everybody's like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, you don't even spin the ball. You just go straight down, whatever it is. At that point, you're trying to perfect yourself. And you're not going to, your raw talent isn't going to be there because the teams they know who you are. They know what you're going to do. And I think it's going to be tough for him to repeat exactly what he did. And I could be wrong, but I have them as a win.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Buffalo.
I have it as a loss. I think it's going to be a fantastic, fun game, but because it's in Buffalo, I give them the edge.
I think it's going to be a snowy game just because it's Buffalo. Josh Allen is great. It's in Buffalo. Don't get me wrong. Diehard Eagles fan, but I do think it is a loss for this. And like you said, it's there. If it was a home game, I think it would be a close game and Eagles would win, but I do have it as a loss.
Yep.
All right. Last one, Washington.
So this one's tricky. I'm going to say I am going to go with a win. But I also would not be surprised at the end of the year if it's a loss because of the fact that the Eagles have things locked up. The only way they're
resting their starters.
Exactly.
That's what I got.
The only way they're losing the game is if they rest their starters. If they play their starters, it's a win. If they rest their starters, it's a loss.
Yep, I agree. Okay, so let's tally this up. I've got a 13-4 season. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12-5, right?
No, I think I got 13-4, fluctuating on 14-3.
No. Yes, that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, you're up in the air with Dallas's. That's what it was. You've got it. Yeah. So we both got 13-4. We're only 1, 2 games different for you and I. KC and Dallas. Other than that, we're right on it. All right, everybody, you heard our predictions. And the last prediction we're going to go is let's do a score prediction for next Thursday. What do you got against the Cowgirls?
Score prediction. I'm going to go with 27-23 Philly.
Wow, close.
I think it's going to be very close, to be honest with you.
20. What did you say? 27-23?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going 35-21 Eagles.
I knew you were going to have some big spread there. Your fandom is commemorable.
So here's my prediction. Now, the Eagles always go in there and defer the ball, and I would love for them to say, we're taking it, just change some shit up. And then the first play of the game, just bomb it to AJ. The second, touchdown would be great on the second play, would run Saquon and just pound the shit out of them. And then it's going to end the series and a tush push into it. I wish this was totally accurate, but I got hopes and dreams.
I think that when they go to Green Bay in Lambeau, their first play of the game should be a tush push. Since they were the ones that proposed it.
Do it. I think they should just do it the whole entire game. Just they get an average of 2 to 3 yards for each one.
Why not?
They should do that. You know what they should do? After they're up, they should do a whole series of just the tush push and let's see.
How many offsides penalties would there be?
Oh my God. That would be awesome to it. All right. That would be pretty cool to see. This has been really... All right, so Dan, you've got yours. I've got mine. We got our predictions. Dan and I will be heading down to the game. Say hi, wave, take a picture if you spot us. We'll be around. We'll be in the club section actually hanging out. It's going to be totally packed and crazy as hell. The only thing that I'm going to tell you if you're going to the game, pack your food and bring your own drinks. Shit is expensive.
Yeah, they upped the prices again. So, yeah, be mindful of that.
It is like $18.50 for a can of beer, I think, something like that. It's ridiculous. In fact,
you can't afford to get drunk. There's no way.
Everybody's going in drunk and just going to sip on things. In fact, what you get is one of those bladder backpacks with a little sip.
Well, that there's very redneck of you.
That's better than the beer can hat or whatever.
Imagine going through the metal detector and the scanner and you got a bladder on you.
Hey, man.
What's that substance?
You can You can't ask HIPAA laws, but that would be violating. You cannot ask me what that is. I'm sorry. This is for medical purposes only.
I got a
Why is it on
direct
your
line.
back, sir?
I got a direct line into my veins where this is alcohol.
I was going the other route, like you want me to.
Well, the catheter's in the other bag.
Yeah. Which one are you sipping? All right. So anyway, all right, everybody, we're gonna wrap things up. This has been the Philly Fan Radio Podcast. I'm your host, John Myer, along with Dan Palmieri. And Dan,
We're out of
what
here.
do we say? Oh, we're out of here, and
Good luck.
go Birds.
Good birds.
You know what? Whatever the ending may be, listen, everybody. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notify, because
We're out of here, and go birds.
there we go. And we're leaving that shit in because who the hell cares? All right. Peace, everybody.